Hey family, brothers and sisters, today's 10-minute workshop is for you. It is titled Wounds That Still Whisper, How Black on Black Childhood Bullying Shapes Our Adult Lives. Now listen, some wounds, they don't bleed, right? They don't show up on medical charts or x-rays, but they show up in how we see ourselves, how we love, how we shrink, and how we sabotage our own brilliance. So today we're going to dive into a painful but necessary conversation. The long-term emotional and psychological impact of black on black childhood bullying. This is for every black man who was called ugly or too dark growing up. This is for every black woman who was teased for being fat, for being loud, for being different. This is for the parts of us that never got a proper apology but still need healing. And how did I come up with this study? Last week, this whole thing with Shannon Sharp, I was really mesmerized. And I was like, why is it that he only deals with white women? And I started thinking, well, maybe he was teased because I know he had a lisp. He was very dark skinned, blah, blah. And so I said, you know what? I may not know for sure, but I do know how my past bullying impacted me as an adult and my self-esteem. So let's just dive into it. Where did this come from, this black on black teasing? It didn't start with us. This is a byproduct of a society that taught us to hate ourselves and each other. The best way to keep a race of people divided and to not overpower the power structure, the white power structure particularly, is to keep us hating ourselves and hating one another. So let's talk about during slavery. Lighter skin was rewarded, darker skin was punished, right? After slavery, white beauty standards defined what was attractive. Then in school, black kids absorbed these standards through media, families, and unspoken rules. So what happened? We turned on each other. We turned on each other not because we hated each other, but because we were taught to. That's what we were taught. Hurt people, right? Wounded children grow up to be wounded adults. And that is what we have in many of us black adults. Now come on, folks, let's be honest with each other. Okay? We all have some areas, some of the, I don't know the word, very high emotion comments that I have gotten from some black men. It makes me think some black men hate black women. And I'm like, where did that come from? Do you have mommy issues? Were you abandoned? And I'm not just singling out black men, but I was really surprised at the vitriol that some of black men spewed in the comment section about black women. And then again, some black women, they're very angry with black men. And I'm thinking, okay, is it daddy issues? Is it rejection? But for many, it is because you have never healed or got the proper apology for your inner child. But that's okay. We can stop this cycle right here, right now. So how it shows up. Let's talk about what the teasing looked like for black boys, okay? This is what it looked like for black boys in many cases. You were called ashy, right? Broke, ugly, too dark, nappy-headed. You were mocked for having no name brand clothes maybe. Maybe you were shamed for showing emotion. Maybe you were very poor and kids teased you. Maybe you had an odor and kids teased you. Then for black girls, maybe you were teased for being fat, nappy-headed, too dark, too loud. Maybe you matured physically and you were real busty and kids teased you about your body. They called you fast because your body developed. You weren't even doing nothing sexual. Or they compared you to white girls or light-skinned peers because you had short hair. But see, it didn't stop at childhood. That teasing became what? It became your self-worth, right? It became people-pleasing. It became fear of being truly seen. It became settling in relationships. It became overworking to feel worthy. It became silence in rooms where you belonged as adults. Yeah, you may no longer be an 8 or 12-year-old in a classroom, but now you're a 35-year-old person in the boardroom, and yet you still have this self-esteem issues. You feel like you don't belong. Imposter syndrome. Black men, how many of you still hear the voices of the girls who laughed at you in 6th grade, huh? Come on, be honest. Black women, how many of you still carry shame over your body because of what our own people said about you when you were 10? We're not crazy. We're just carrying unhealed trauma, y'all. Black people, I'm telling you, y'all, you can say what you want. Post-traumatic slave disorder is a real thing. Being black in America is trauma and stress, and we have to address it. Not only have we had to deal with the outside powers, the white man teasing us, treating us like shit, but then when our own do it, it's even more devastating. And you think you've healed, but then you wake up one day as a 40-year-old man and you're angry as hell. Or you see a woman and you don't even want to deal with a black woman because the black girls teased you, or a black woman hurt you, or your mother wasn't there for you. Come on, somebody. So the adult impact. Let's break this down clearly. Childhood bullying by other black children impacts us in 3 major areas: our self-esteem, our relationships, and our career and visibility. Now let's start with self-esteem. You may have chronic self-doubt. It's hard. You're always guessing, second guessing. You may avoid compliments. You're just, you don't want to be seen. You shriek. You constantly proving yourself. In relationships, you're not feeling good enough to be truly loved. Some of you all have been single. It's just because you're giving out the vibes that you're not healed, honey. And that trauma, God is protecting you from putting that trauma on somebody else. So you don't feel like you're good enough. So you sabotage every relationship. Or dating partners who treat you like a joke because deep down, you believe you are a joke. You men, you date these women, like look at Brother Shannon Sharp, damn near a child he was dating. You want to date women you can control because God forbid you date a woman your age who now you fear might hurt you. Or you don't want to date a woman that has her own because you need to always feel needed and wanted. Or you avoid love altogether. And you just have this, I can't find no good man. No, that's not it. I'm not going to let you lie on these brothers. There are a lot of good men out here, just like there's a lot of good women out here. Maybe you need to get healed. So, this is not minor stuff, y'all. This is life-altering, identity-shaping pain. And yet, it's invisible to everyone but us, right? So, let me share a few quick real-world examples. One, I was always called ugly by the black girls in my neighborhood. Now I only date non-black women because I associate black women with rejection. Any of you brothers say that? Here's another one. I was teased for being fat and dark-skinned my whole childhood. Now I struggle to take a compliment or show my body to anyone, even the man who loves me. Any sister can relate to that? What about this one? I was called white boy for speaking clearly and getting good grades. So I dumbed myself down to fit in, and now I'm 30, wondering what I'd be if I had embraced my genius. We hear that all the time. I hear that from my children. People used to tell me about my children. Oh my God, your kids talk so articulate. And when white people tell me that my children speak articulate, I say, and what are they supposed to speak? What are you saying? Healing the whispering wounds. Let's talk solutions. You can heal, but first you have to name the pain. And I'm gonna stop there because I like to keep these videos under 10 minutes. And the reason I wanted to do this is because it is some hurting people in this world. And so I feel for some of you, especially those of you who are single, and I'm talking about in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, and you still carrying that trauma, and you're walking around here talking about there's no good people in this world. No, there are. Unfortunately, you were just hurt. You think it didn't hurt me all my life growing up here, and I was fat, and I had short hair, and I had these big lips, and now at 54, I embrace my curves. My lips is everything, okay? And I rock either my short hair or a weave. It don't matter because I love myself no matter what. But do you know what I had to go through to get to that point? And I'm still going through it. So don't let what other people did to you as a child, black on black bullying, stop you from living your best life as an adult. All right, continue to like, share, and subscribe, and thank you. And let's move on to part 2 of this workshop. We got to get free, black folk. We got to get free for our children.